Said was born in a small and quiet village, where the mornings began with birdsong and the evenings ended with the soft glow of oil lamps. Her childhood was simple, but inside her heart lived dreams that reached far beyond the walls of her home. Her father worked hard to provide for the family, and her mother was a gentle woman who believed that every daughter must learn to be strong, patient, and wise. Said was the oldest of three siblings, and from a young age she learned responsibility. She carried water from the well, helped her mother in the kitchen, and still found time to sit under the old tree behind their house to imagine a life full of possibilities. As Said grew older, she realized that the world around her did not always welcome the ambitions of girls. Many people believed a girl's destiny was limited to household tasks and marriage. But Said felt something different inside her. She wanted to study. She wanted to explore. She wanted to become a woman who could stand on her own feet. Her mother supported her quietly, giving her courage with her soft voice and warm eyes. But her father believed education beyond middle school was unnecessary. According to him, girls needed protection, not dreams. Said respected him deeply, but she also knew she had to try. One evening, she gathered the courage to talk to her father. She told him about her desire to continue school, to learn more, to make something of herself. Her father looked at her for a long moment. He saw strength in her eyes, a strength he had not noticed before. After a heavy silence, he agreed but warned her that life outside their small village would not be easy. Said promised that she would not disappoint him. And so her journey began. Every day, Said walked 3 kilometers to the nearest high school. The road was dusty and uneven, but she never complained. She enjoyed the walk, using the time to think, dream, and plan. At school, she worked harder than any other student. She stayed in the library after class, copying notes by hand because she did not own textbooks of her own. Her teachers noticed her dedication and often encouraged her. Slowly, Said began to believe that she was capable of much more than she had ever imagined. But life is never a straight path. And Said soon faced challenges she had not expected. Her father fell ill, and the burden of supporting the family increased. Money became scarce. Her mother began sewing clothes to earn extra income, and Said felt torn between her responsibilities at home and her education. One night, she overheard her parents talking. Her father was worried that he could no longer afford her schooling. Said's heart tightened, but she did not cry. Instead, she made a decision. She would find a way. The next morning, she went to her school principal and explained her situation. After hearing her story, the principal recommended her for a scholarship. When Said learned that her fees would be covered, she felt a sense of relief so strong it made her knees weak. She thanked the principal with tears in her eyes and promised to work harder than ever. With renewed energy, Said continued her studies. She completed high school with top grades, surprising everyone, including herself. When she received an offer for a vocational training program in the nearby city, she felt her life was about to change. The city was loud, crowded, and full of people with confidence far greater than hers. But Said adapted quickly. She learned new skills, made new friends, and discovered a world where her abilities mattered more than her. Background: her favorite part of the training was solving real-life problems. She enjoyed analyzing situations, planning solutions, and helping her classmates understand difficult tasks. Her instructors appreciated her patience and clarity. Over time, she developed a quiet but unshakable confidence. After completing the program, Said secured a job as an assistant in a small office. It wasn't much, but it was a beginning. She rented a modest room, sent money home every month, and saved whatever little she could. She worked long hours, often staying late to understand new tasks or improve her skills. Her colleagues respected her, though some envied her dedication. But Said ignored negativity. She focused only on growth. Years passed and Said's responsibilities increased. She was promoted, her salary improved, and she became a trusted member of the team. But she wanted more. She dreamed of starting her own initiative someday, something that would help women like her, women who had big dreams but small opportunities. She waited patiently, knowing that timing mattered. One day, her company announced a leadership training opportunity. Many people applied, but only a few were selected. Said hesitated, unsure if she was good enough. But her manager encouraged her to try. She filled out the form with trembling hands and submitted her application. When the results were announced, Said was shocked to find her name on the list. It was a turning point in her life. The leadership course was intense. It pushed her limits, forced her to step out of her comfort zone, and made her confront weaknesses she had long ignored. But with each passing day, she grew stronger. She learned public speaking, project management, conflict resolution, and strategic planning. She connected with people from different backgrounds, each with their own stories of struggle and ambition. Their experiences inspired her, reminding her that challenges were universal. But courage was personal. After the program ended, Said returned to her company with a renewed sense of purpose. Her performance improved, and soon she was leading small teams. She discovered that leadership was not about authority, but about responsibility. She listened to her team, supported them, and encouraged them to grow. As a result, her team achieved excellent results. Senior management noticed, and within 2 years, Said was promoted to a higher position. As Said's career flourished, she remained deeply connected to her family. She visited her village frequently, helping her siblings with their studies and guiding young girls who looked up to her. She became a role model in her community. Parents pointed to her as an example of what a daughter could achieve with dedication. But success did not shield her from new challenges. With rising responsibilities at work, her stress levels increased. She found less time for herself. Some colleagues undermined her, believing she did not deserve her position. Rumors circulated, and Said felt isolated. There were nights when she wondered if she had pushed herself too far. But each time she felt weak, she remembered the girl she once was, the girl who walked miles just to go to school. She told herself that giving up was not an option. One evening, after a particularly difficult day, Said sat alone in her apartment. She thought about her dreams, her struggles, and her purpose. She realized that she needed to grow further if she wanted to create real change. The next day, she enrolled in an evening course on social entrepreneurship. She juggled work, studies, and community service with remarkable discipline. Slowly, her vision began to take shape. After completing the course, Said launched a small initiative aimed at empowering women from rural backgrounds. She started by offering training workshops on communication, finances, and career development. The response was overwhelming. Women traveled long distances to attend her sessions. They shared their challenges, fears, and dreams. Said listened to them with empathy, guiding them patiently. Many women gained the confidence to pursue jobs, start small businesses, or continue their education. As her program grew, organizations began noticing her work. She was invited to speak at events, share her experiences, and collaborate on larger projects. Her voice, once soft and unsure, now carried strength and clarity. She had become a leader whose journey was inspiring not just women but people of all ages. But Said remained humble. Whenever she was praised, she smiled gently and said she was only doing what her heart had always wanted. She believed that success meant helping others rise. Her mission was bigger than personal achievement. It was about creating a world where every woman felt valued, capable, and empowered. One day, her father visited her in the city. He was older now, weaker, but his eyes carried pride. He sat quietly in her office, looking at the nameplate on her door. He placed his hand on hers and whispered that she had become more than he ever expected. Said felt tears roll down her cheeks. It was her father's approval she had secretly longed for all her life. Said's journey continued to grow. She expanded her project into a formal organization, secured funding, hired a team, and reached thousands of women across different regions. Her programs transformed lives, giving hope to those who had once felt forgotten by society. Newspapers wrote about her efforts, and she received awards for her contributions. Yet despite all the achievements, Said never forgot her roots. She continued visiting her village, sitting under the same old tree where she once imagined her future. She would smile at how far she had come. But her heart never allowed pride to overshadow humility. Said's life story became a beacon of hope. She proved that dreams did not belong to any specific place, gender, or background. She showed that determination could build bridges over the deepest challenges. She reminded everyone that strength grows not from comfort, but from struggle. Even after decades, Sid continued to work tirelessly. She trained more women, built more programs, and inspired countless lives. Her journey, filled with hardship and triumph, became one of the most powerful examples of how a single woman's courage could reshape an entire community. And whenever someone asked her what kept her going, she always gave the same simple answer. She said that when a woman grows, the world grows with her. For said, changing one life at a time was enough to change the world. Her story, long and full of challenges, became proof that no dream is too big and no woman too small. She lived with purpose, she fought with grace, and she rose with dignity. And in doing so, she became a symbol of hope, resilience, and endless possibility.